Hey guys, so today was the Fonda Fair Demolition Derby, and obviously I'm not there. I got kind of a long story about this one, and I got some other news too, so if you guys aren't up for another update video, then I guess click out of this, but this is more of a kind of what plans are from here and what's going on. So I was actually planning on running today with this car, because very minimal things would have to be changed, and you know, it's one of the end demolition derbies of the year. It's one of the last around locally, and I was totally planning on running it today, and that didn't happen for quite a few reasons. The biggest reason, mostly, is because I missed the register date. I didn't realize until like 2 days ago that I had totally missed the registration date. The registration date for a demolition derby that was on the September 2nd, keep that in mind, the registration date was on August 22nd. So, yeah, that was kind of, yeah. I don't know why that is, but that's the way it is, I guess. That was pretty much the main reason why I didn't go, because I couldn't, really, miss the registration date. And we've been having issues here, family issues, not anything you guys have to worry about. Just, you know, drama, stuff like that. Nothing like too bad, but just not good. And I'm not going to go any more into it than that. Obviously, I'm going to be still derbying and stuff. It's just whatever. Just some stupid crap has come up, and finding it a little bit hard to derby right now. And so that's pretty much that. That pretty much sums up why I didn't go to Fonda. Very minimal things, I think, would have happened. I mean, would have to been changed on this car. Sadly, pretty much none of the promoters that are around us actually are connected. So that's another problem with running at almost every fair, at least trying to, is with one car, it's almost impossible unless you build it very stock for all of them. And you have to change your, like, one place doesn't allow you to change the gas tank, one place does. It's just basically impossible to try to run them all. And that's pretty much where I found myself. And I would have ran at Boonville, but guess what? Can't run at Boonville because I really don't want to burn to death. Honestly, because you're not allowed to move the gas tank from the outside of from underneath the car to inside the car, which I think is just absolutely bogus. At least give the option to do that. Still haven't changed that there. It's kind of just bad. I mean, it only makes the show worse, actually, because they have to stop like every 5 minutes for a gas leak, and then you got the occasional big big boom of fire that possibly injures people. You know, just real bull crap. I'm not going to go any more into that. But they put on a good show. That's the problem. Is they have good rules. Other than that, just holy crap. This has been a crappy year, but for me at least. I mean, there's plenty of content from other channels still, and you know, just whatever. It's whatever. Next year's gonna be much better, guys. I promise you that. But I also have another announcement. Brookfield, Madison County Fair Demolition Derby. Well, not this time around. This is actually Wheels Days, which is basically Madison County Fair Demolition Derby 2.0. Basically the same thing. they have changed the rules. Excuse the annoying crickets. It's getting pretty late out here. The rules have changed somewhat. They added a new class, the bone stock class. And to answer your question right off the bat, no, this car will not be running at Brookfield. I'm going to wait until another Demolition Derby after this one to see whether the rules for the modified class changes or the rules for the bone stock, which I think they will, because they're about to find out, because I'm going to explain to you guys just in a second here, unless you already know the rules, obviously, and you already know what I'm about to talk about, why those rules are kind of kind of not good. Although I think they're better than what they had, at least with the modified, because people are just not building these cars how they used to. Not necessarily these cars, because people are still willing to build these cars pretty good. I'm talking about stuff like, I don't know, the newer Gen W bodies, anything that has like an aluminum suspension, multiple crush boxes, like, are bendable easily. And people are like, I'm only going to get one run out of it, so why even bother? And showing up to the modified class, it's like you're going to get a couple hits in, and then you're pretty much done because your car folded up so hard because of all these other modified guys with their tough cars. So there's that. They had a new class, which is obviously bone stock, like I just said like 5 times. Here's kind of what their rules are. It's the most bone stock rules I have read yet for demolition derbies around us, at least as far as things go. If I remember correctly, you are allowed to move the gas tank, but you are not allowed a crossbar. You are not allowed this bar, which I think is, you don't even have the option of putting this in, which I think is a little bit, that's really my main concern about it, really, is this bar. You're not allowed to put one of these bars into the car, the post to post, which I think is very strange and will turn off a lot of people from running. I'm sure they will have a lot of complaints and stuff like that, and people probably showing up with a small crossbar and saying, look, it's just for safety, what do you expect, man? So I'm going to see how that goes over. That's one of the reasons this car I don't think could ever run there, because I'd have to take out this whole entire cage. I'd have to cut it out. I didn't bolt this one in, so this would have to be all cut out. I'd have to cut all the door welds. I'd have to untuck the trunk more than likely. I'd have to, I believe I'd have to change all this back to stock, wiring and stuff, all this right here. I don't know what else I'd have to do, but I didn't really look at it that deeply, because all I saw was I can't weld the doors shut, and I'm just not willing to cut all these welds and cut the cage out and all that just to run at this stock demolition derby. I'd rather run a whole nother car. So I'm still probably going to record that demolition derby. It's actually at the very end of September this year, very late. September 28th, I believe it is. The Saturday of September 28th. That's when the demolition derby is, and that's when I'm going to run. I'm going to record. Sorry, guys. I know you probably just like, what? So, what's going to happen with this car? The answer is, I think it's going to have to sit over the winter. As much as I hate to do that, I'm really pissed off about it. I think that's what's going to have to happen to this car. But what does that mean? As far as other cars go, well, they really don't have anything to do with each other. But am I going to get another car? Because I did talk about at one point getting 2 cars. Well, if we can get done around the house what we have to, meaning getting rid. I don't know if you guys can see it back there. The little truck over that van. We have to get rid of that truck. That's guaranteed. Cleaned out the yard a little bit over here. Don't know if you guys remember what it used to look like. Did clean it out a little bit. We're trying. But the Saab, I will have you guys an update pretty soon on the old silver Saab. That car is going to scrap hopefully this week. That's all I got to say about that. I'm praying it goes to scrap this week. It was actually supposed to go today, but I think we ran into a couple problems. So anyway, I got more updates coming for you guys. Don't worry about channel content. I got plenty more of it coming, and I'm sure I'll keep it coming until I really can't. I have content at least over the winter time for this car, but we might just get another car. I don't know, guys. So stay tuned. Okay. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. And bye-bye, everybody.